Hey guys, so I spoke today at TSP Live. Really good event. This is my second time speaking at this event, and I've been invited to speak at 2 additional events already from this one presentation. And I think it was definitely one of my top 5 best presentations ever. It was so good. I can't wait to share with you all. But it was dope. We'll put some clips in here so you all can see a little bit of what happened on stage.
Home run, touchdown, buzzer beater, do it all now.
See, some of y'all don't understand there's people in this room helping you get your mind set up, but if you're not emotionally ready, you'll think they're being rude. They're trying to save your life. Money is relative, and I don't judge myself based on how much y'all applaud. I judge myself based on my own potential. People look at me like, why you work so hard? Because I don't care if I'm your ceiling. I am not my own. Say, we are the ones. We're done waiting. We don't quit. And we're coming for what's ours.
Just being in the same space, you breathe in the same air, it means something important.
Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low.
Okay. All right. Does anybody in All right, awesome. We got a couple of receipts here. I love this. All right, so this receipt says $32.33. How much? Okay, what's that say, brother?
This say 26.
No, tell me what this one says.
This one says 32.33.
Okay, hand it to somebody else. What does that say, sis?
This says 32.33.
Thank you, Dr. Michelle. Your tea was amazing. 32.33. Okay, hand it to one more person. 32.33. How many of y'all in this room have receipts? Okay, like I don't mean just like paper receipts. How many of y'all got degrees, education, expertise? You got something you know better than anybody else? Okay, cool. Now I'm gonna work with this receipt and I'm gonna use y'all. Can we get a mic over here so they can help me out with this? This one says $68.99. And I just need a mic up here. We'll do it right here. What does that say?
$68.99.
$68.99. What does that say?
$68.99.
$68.99. What y'all think it says? Okay, $68.99. One more.
$68.99.
Now, is that high or low to you? Okay, I'm hearing a lot of different answers here. What's this? Now, sis, I already know. Now, she doesn't remember this, y'all, but when I came in 2018 and I didn't join the mastermind, she came up to me and said, it's only 15 grand. You waste that, and walked away. I said, I do? Where? I didn't understand. But see, she got me together. She was helping me with my mindset before I knew I needed it. And do you know, instead of getting to know this sister, I was like, dang, why she was rude to me. See, some of y'all don't understand there's people in this room helping you get your mind set up, but if you're not emotionally ready, you'll think they're being rude. They're trying to save your life. Is it high or low to you? What is it, $68.99? It's high, okay? High or low to you, $68.99?
It's nothing, it's low.
It's nothing, it's low. $68.99, what you think?
Like, you can spend that in an hour.
You could spend that in an hour. Now, when I asked what the price was, what was everybody's answer? So all the answers were but when I asked was it high or low, every answer was? All right, we're going to talk about receipts over rhetoric. Thank you guys so much. I love you guys. Now, I don't got a lot of time, but Lamar and Ronnie, I consider them family. I only have 2 modes, family or the other word. Like my husband's always getting to me because he's like, babe, you're so black or white. It's like either they with us or against us. What? So they're family. They're with us. I came up with something called receipts over rhetoric. And let me just give my disclaimer. If I use a word, it's trademark, baby. Violate copying me could be against federal laws. But it's called receipts over rhetoric. Now, a receipt, if I ask 20 people in this room, We have something in law. Where my lawyers at? Shout out to us. We are well positioned to be wealthy. So all of us should do it quickly. $68.99. If I ask all of you what this receipt says, all of you, and if I get the spelling wrong, don't even worry about it. Some of y'all don't put out social media post money because they worried about somebody saying they got something misspelled. Long as I get my leads, I could care less. So receipt over rhetoric, $68.99, same thing. Receipts are verifiable. You can't dispute that I'm a lawyer barred in Illinois. I got an ARDC number. If you do, you're what we call in the law an unreasonable person. Everybody in this room got a receipt. Name one. Shout it out. Andy, what's your receipts, bro? You were an accountant, right? CPA? Worked at one of the big four? That's a receipt. We could verify that. Now, rhetoric would be, well, I'm an accountant. I can't be anything else. Rhetoric would be, because I'm black, I can't be a partner there. Rhetoric would be, it won't work for me because I don't see anyone else with my same experience doing it. Rhetoric would be, I'm the only one who could do it like me, so I could take all day like God didn't call me. Rhetoric would be, what's mine is mine. It doesn't matter how long it takes. What's for me is for me. Anybody a Bible scholar? Where's Jamal at? Is my preacher brother in the room? Aren't there people in the Bible that God destined for things that they didn't get because of their decisions? So for all my believers, I want us to stop acting like God ain't got a nation of people he can call. We're wasting time acting small. But we go to church most Sundays and say we serve a big God who can do big things. But every time you meet a challenge, it swallows you up. It's inappropriate. These are receipts. I got a JD from Northwestern. Some troll online was like, I'm so sick of this sister with her ass lying. University of Illinois isn't a top 10 law school. I said, but baby, Northwestern is. I was like, you seem so confident in such a small lie. But did that mean I stopped posting shmoney? What's a troll gonna do to a giant? Y'all really act like your haters are bigger than you. If they were bigger than you, they wouldn't have to hate on you. I'm sorry, it's the last day. I don't got a lot of time. Are y'all okay with me not playing with y'all? Yes or no? All right, cool. So, receipts. Most of us, if we made all of our decisions from receipts, we'd be wealthier. But most of us never take the time to look at our receipts. We don't look and see, oh my God, I have 10 years of experience. I have so much going on in me. I'm black. I got the blood of millionaires running through me. I was reading about William Leinstorff earlier today. I think I said his last name right. Ask Freddie if I didn't. But he was the first black millionaire. Y'all, in the 1800s, this man owned downtown San Francisco. The only reason it's not in his lineage now is because he died intestate. That means without a will. So a white man found his mama, went to her, said, hey, I'm going to write you a check for $75,000. At the time, it was worth like 1-point-something million. She signed it in grief. Let me tell you something you got to do to be a successful entrepreneur, particularly when you are black. You don't make decisions from emotions. You make decisions from receipts. You don't make a decision based on your fear, your grief, or your past. You make decisions from the future that you decide to write. But when I realized, man, that brother was black, same blood that I got, I bet he would hate it if I ever got a chance to meet with him. And I was like, yeah, I mean, I could have owned property and real estate and gotten rich and wealthy and built a business and got excellent coaching like we've done, but I was too scared. He'd be like, scared of what? Lynching? I'd be like, no. Scared of what? Being killed? No. Scared of what? Your whole town being burned down by some racist white folks? Oh, no. Scared of what? Well, post it on social media. Making a financial investment. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm not scared to lose my life. I'm scared to lose my money. Come on, y'all. We know better than that. William Leinstorff, is that a receipt or is that rhetoric? That's a receipt. That man lived that life. Everything I just said is written down in history. And he and I are of the same race. But we not always running the same race as one another. Now your rhetoric. I'm going to talk to my licensed professionals for a minute. Who got a license? Raise your hand. Boy. Who went to a school where they were like, where it was predominantly white? Raise your hand. Yo, let me tell you, can't nothing break down your confidence like being the only black person in a room full of white folks that you know more than. But they act like you don't know more than them. But instead of you telling them where to take their ignorance, you accept their low view of you for yourself. I'm going to give you an opportunity today to get rid of rhetoric that's keeping you broke. Now, let me explain. Because some of y'all in here make millions. But to a billionaire, millions is broke. Some of you make six figures. But to a millionaire, that would be broke. If I went home to my husband, I was like, babe, we only did 10K this month. He'd be like, I'm sorry, did Kartra go down? Money is relative. And I don't judge myself based on how much y'all applause. I judge myself based on my own potential. People look at me like, why you work so hard? Because I don't care if I'm your ceiling. I am not my own. So rhetoric is what you think about your receipts. Receipts are truth. Rhetoric can be a lie. And what I have found is that some people would rather fight to hold on to their lives than doing what it takes to get more receipts. And to be real, it's not even your fault. Because when you study history, it can make you real mad. And you start to realize how we were not just systematically oppressed, we were systematically tricked into believing that we should have been there in the first place. When in fact, the only reason we were ever oppressed was because we were so doggone brilliant and successful that what they could not emulate, they had to enslave.
For everything you sell, you need a vehicle. Sales calls, challenge. Our event is a vehicle. It's one way you can sell an offer. You're marketing not just for sales, you're also marketing for data. In your portal, it shows you how to have a brand guide. What brand guides do is it ensures that no matter who designs your stuff, it looks the same. I help y'all land 5- and 6-figure contracts, but there comes a point in your business where you are the one giving 5- and 6-figure contracts.
You cannot afford not to come to this event.
You are missing out. There is so much energy at a place like this.
Everything has been epic. I've never been to a training where I've been engaged in literally every session.
This mastermind has truly changed my life.
My mindset has shifted.
It has allowed my business to grow tremendously.
6-figure speaking contracts.
Get in the room. This is unlike any conference that I've ever experienced, and I am a conference junkie, information junkie. I've been to all the things, but I have never been to an event like this.
If you make it from a certain spot, go back higher, go back further, shoot it again. And if you make it from that spot, then you realize, hold on, this may be too low of a rim.
The hardest thing to be in life is yourself. Why? It's because it's the noise. Too many of us are believing what other people are saying about who we should or should not be.
So I go hard for y'all. The same way my coaches, Lamar and Ronnie, went hard for me. I called Lamar one day at an event. I was like, hey, bro, I just made $1 million. He was like, dare you to do 2. I was like, don't dare me. Don't dare me, bro. It was that day that I decided he was my coach. I'm an intense person, y'all. He's the only coach I've hired more than once. Most of them can't even handle me. First, they be excited. Then they be like, dang, I think she may be too powerful for me. But what my brother Jay said about them not leading from insecurity is a 100% accuracy. Because when I'm up, they cool. And when I'm down, they exact same. Matter of fact, when I'm down, they help me get up. Can I tell y'all my business? I saw Ronnie at a funnel hacking live event, not the one I was speaking at. I was just attending. That's another bar. I went to funnel hacking live year after year before he ever called me to speak. I saw her in the hallway. I was stressed out. Me and Chris was having a little argument. You know, it don't happen much. Because, like, what is there to argue about, right? I was like, Ronnie. She was like, let's go. You think that man gonna work like you? It's gonna mess both of y'all up. You need to understand everybody's strengths. You need to play to that, and you need to operate in that, and you need to respect that. I was like, well, dang. I was better than any marriage counseling I'd never been to. I went back home. I apologized to my man. Baby, I'm hard on my goals, soft with my man. I'm not trying to mess nothing up. I was like, thank you, my good sister Ronnie. Get me together. Get me together. Men being, oh, Chris, how do you deal with that? He was like, deal with what? He ain't got no problems. All right, we'll go to my slides, y'all. Love you, babe. Shout out to my parents celebrating 37 years of marriage this week. And Chris's parents celebrated how many, babe? 43 years of marriage. What are you talking about? Love in the air. So the name of my presentation is Stop Leaving Money on the Table. Stop leaving money on the table. We got to stop doing that. Now, we learned about what earlier? What 2 things? Receipts and rhetoric. Help me out, sis, right here. Take this bag and give Brittany some money and give Dr. Erica some money, and then you keep the bag, okay? All right, cool. So stop leaving money on the table. So who am I? I'm Ashley Kirkwood. I run Speak Your Way to Cash. Just look me up. I don't got time for this. I got to get to the meat of it. I've been all those places. I've done things. I'm Googleable. Check it out. That was our first apartment on 38th in California. 10 blocks from the prison, y'all. And in fact, when I would get on the bus, they would also get on the same bus to go home. And y'all know I'm a talker. I was like, so what's going on? She's like, oh, I just got out. I was like, what you do? Everybody know I'm not from the hood. I didn't know. You're not supposed to ask that. I didn't know. My first time living in the hood was right here. I thought it was an adventure. I was like, Chris, they're selling jalapenos and tomatoes on the side of the road. It is so nice over here. He was like, babe, get in the house. Not really. I was like, okay. But that was our first apartment. That was our location, not our identity. Some of you all are making decisions from your location, not your identities. My identity was wealthy. That's why I didn't know I was broke. I was walking around. I was like, but of course we have money. Then my card would get declined. I used to have overdraft fees all the time. I was meant to be rich. I didn't know. I was like, oh my God. They were like, another overdraft fee. I was like, for what? They were like, ma'am, you were at Whole Foods buying toppings for your salad, and that is far too much money that you don't have. I was like, well, obviously I should have it. You need to look in. Chris was like, you identify as an indignant white woman sometimes. I was like, well, if Rachel can do it every now and then when I call banks and things, so can I. Okay? Now, I ended up moving from there to another place on the south side of Chicago. Shout out to the south side of Chicago. And that is where I went to law school. I went to Northwestern Law, graduated cum laude, and then I worked at Kirkwood and Ellis. Can y'all see me? They were like, we need her to come in the front. We were like, right there, babe, right there. I was their entire diversity plan. That was me. I interviewed for a lot of firms, had a lot of offers. My husband helped me to do that. We got married before I even went to law school. He helped me study for the bar. We built everything together. So when couples come to us and they're like, well, how did you deal? Someone asked me recently, like, how did you deal with being so successful in finding a man? I was like, well, when we found each other, the way my success looked was different. It was more potential based. You know what I mean? So really, Chris helped me to get focused. And then I was able to do some pretty cool things. But then I got the offer of a lifetime. I left my dream job at Kirkwood and Ellis, got the offer to go to this new job, and I negotiated a 6-figure raise. A 6-figure what? Okay. That turned into a nightmare. I got there day one. Everything this lady promised me at that job was not there. Anybody else been there? Raise your hand. Somebody said, amen. You felt it in your soul. We're going to do that inner work that they and Sharice talked about. Get rid of that, right? But I get it. Like, it was horrible. And then I ended up leaving my job because I had too much pride to be disrespected consistently and forever. And some of y'all have a job, but you look at it as your job or your life sentence instead of looking at it as your investor to get away. Which is fine. Now, had I stayed in my first firm because I loved it there and they treated me well and everything was fine, I would have never become an entrepreneur. So I believe it was divine for me to go there. I want to find that horrible boss and like send her some flowers and just say, thank you so much, Rachel. You changed my life for the better. And I bet that when she gets there, she'd be like, I sure did. Taught her everything she knows. I'd be like, there we go. That's the Rachel I know. So this is the post when I left my job. Look at all the comments. Look at all the likes. Look at the celebration. But none of them pay me any money. Don't get caught up in the likes. You got to get caught up in the receipts, not the what. This was our first event at Speak Your Way to Cash. It was 10 people in a conference room. Many of you all are canceling your events because you think it'll be too small. You don't realize that it needs to be small. You always want to get good in the dark. You want to be committed in the dark. People be like, how did you get through when it was small and you weren't making money? I was like, I was learning. And I was excited because without mastery, if you make any money, it's actually called a blessing. It's called a lesson. So I was excited about that. Now, how did we grow the business? Say, how'd you do it? Speaking. I'm going to tell you 3 ways every entrepreneur, which entrepreneur should be using this? Should be using speaking to make more money in their business. Now, any business owner can use speaking. So before my product, people are like, well, this don't apply to me. All I got is my Shopify. No, we're going to talk about that. Are y'all ready? Say ready. Now, we're going to go fast so I can do some Q&A. Y'all got questions? All right, cool. Oh, Carl, you know it. So, speaking to market, everyone say market. Speaking to pitch, everyone say pitch. Speaking to sell, everyone say sell. So, speaking to market, this is what that looks like, social media. Look, video builds more trust than images. If all of your social media content is static posts, you're not building trust. If you sell services and you have an expertise, you need to be on YouTube. We sold out a 6-city tour for the first time in a matter of hours in 2 cities because of our YouTube audience. Because they're watching long form. And when I meet, who watches the Speak Your Way to Cash YouTube or the Ashley YouTube? Come on, somebody. When I meet people, they don't just say, I watched the video. They say, girl, I go to sleep to you every night. Every morning on the way to my work, you in my ear. I heard you I know your voice. How many of you want people to know your sound? Someone say me? Then you need to be creating long-form content that actually builds trust. Your short-form content piques interest. Your long-form content builds trust. And then your sales events, which we'll talk about, allow you to convert. Y'all got that? Okay. Oh, now, I wanted to show you all this. I'm going to tell y'all my content plan, and I'm going to say, do not get overwhelmed. Now, if you tell me, this is overwhelming, Ashley, how do you, is that a receipt or is that rhetoric? Do y'all know that we have the power to retrain our brains? That if I stop telling myself, I'm overwhelmed, and I start telling myself, oh man, something big must be coming because I'm building capacity, then all of a sudden what overwhelms other is something that I can swim on. Okay? Because I already know this room. I mean, but she has a huge team and then, we're going to deal with that. Now, content to conversion breakdown. Now, here's the thing. I've never done this before in my entire life. I'm only doing it for TSP. Y'all want to hear what it is? I'm going to give you these slides because some of y'all get too caught up on taking notes and then you'd be like, oh, but I didn't learn anything. Well, that's because you aren't listening. Okay? So there we go. Number 1, conversions. Number 2, topics. Number 3, prompt. I tell social media, I tell chat to give me this, here, it's bigger right here, to give me this prompt, and this is a sample output. It's going to give me 60 things that my videographer is going to say to me, and I'm just going to rattle them off. Now you're like, how can you do that off the top of your head? Because I know my stuff. I've been doing it a long time. Whatever you're making content in, it shouldn't be something you got to study and then make content about. Like, you know what you know, okay? And it's going to give me, look at this. Tell me a story about a time when you pitched a corporate client and it didn't go as planned and what you learned. All I got to do is tell a story. It's the editor's job to be like, I'm going to cut this up and make this fit and blah, blah, blah. And then some of you are already like, well, Ashley, I don't know if I can do that because rhetoric. However, if you can't do it short, make it into long form and put it where? There we go. So I'm going to give you this. Your content should get you leads. Get you what? Look, let me tell you something. My most profitable content has the least likes. Be secure enough to put it out, even if no one likes it. Because they can like it without liking it. Okay? Here's the other thing about content. I care more about the people I'm supposed to serve than the people that are going to critique me. I had to get over the insecurity. Oh my God, and it's this, and it's that. Okay, rhetoric, not receipts. Do you want to see an example of this? Okay, now your content should get you what? I'm going to show you an example of this. Are you ready? You have your phone out. Okay, you're going to go to @TheAshleyNicoleShow. That's my Instagram account. You got to do it fast, so I don't got a lot of time. When you go to @TheAshleyNicoleShow, you're just going to DM me, TSP. You're going to DM me what? Here's what you're going to get. A message that's going to ask you, do you want the slides and all that stuff? You're going to say yes. And then you're going to get a voice note. Now, I can't show you how to do all this now, but there is a way to do it. If you know there's a way to do it, then you know how to do the how, right? Now, you all are going to get a voice note from me, but I'm on stage. So did I send it live? Okay, that's a secret for y'all. Don't tell nobody outside this room, right? Automation can still feel personal. It can still feel what? All right, so that's going to show you an example of how you use your content to get leads. What are you DMing? Okay, my Instagram handle is on there. All platforms, I'm going to tell y'all what my content plan is now, not to overwhelm you, just to show you what's possible. And there are people with content plans way bigger than this. Way what? Okay. 1, all platforms, 3 posts a day. But our main platform that we optimize for is Instagram. Which means my LinkedIn content may not be LinkedIn enough. My TikTok content may not be TikTok enough, but I'm still showing up. I'm still what? Now, I have a school group, 1 post a day. That's our goal in our school group, our free school community. Shout out to Lamar for convincing me to get over there. I like it. YouTube, 12 shorts per day. Why? Because I looked at my data. Also called a what? Receipt. And it told me most of my subscribers came from my shorts. So I went and told, we have a full-time content poster. She's overseas. All she does, her full-time job is to post content. So when I say, hey, I want to amp it up and do 1 additional post on this, I don't got to do that. Her full-time job is just to post. It's to do what? That is a job, y'all. That's a job. Like, just to post. So then I focus on creating, not posting. So like, it's so hard to post all those times. Well, then don't do it. Get you someone that can. Well, I can't afford it. Figure out how to afford the life that you want, or don't complain about the life that you have. Because we're business owners solve problems for breakfast. We eat difficult for lunch. We overcome impossible for dinner. Getting a VA for $1,000 a month ain't taking no real business owner out. Now, don't be getting me upset. 2 long-form videos a week. 1 is a reality style show. I got that from Tommy Traffic because I stay in the room. I stay where? He told me at a game plan out in the hallway, man, if you would crush it with a reality show. I was like, great. So we created one. We're 29 episodes in. I showed him yesterday. He was like, you legit just do everything that you're told. As I was like, this is going to make me better. I ain't making complaints. I'm making a way. 12 shorts a day. 1 is reality. 1 is straight expertise, the Speak Get Ready Cash show. On that show, who knows when it drops? Monday at noon. Monday at noon. Our reality drops Wednesday at noon. And so what happens is on the first one on the Monday, I'm teaching. That's teaching content. The reality show is behind the scenes of everything else. So I take my videographer everywhere. That way I don't have to create content. I am content. I live my life. They edit it. They put it out. You'll be shocked what people like. I was just reading for sale a bedtime story. They were like, this is what I needed to see. You are a real mom. I'm like, y'all think I don't put my kids to bed? You're like, now I know I can trust you. I was reading her Gabby's book too. Come on, product placement. And like literally, people love that stuff. They want to make sure you're real because y'all want to know why they want to make sure you're real? They've been messed over by so many frauds that they may need to know more about you to trust you. Now, 3 mid-form videos per week. What is mid-form? And I saw this from Brandy Harvey on Inside the Vault. They're always posting those like 5-minute clips that link to the full video. So they take the videos that I already put out and we release 3 mid-form videos. So if we got 5 days of content on YouTube, how many are we posting every day on YouTube? Yeah, all 5 days. There's something new for them to look at. Then emails, 5 to 7 a week. It depends. That's kind of where we're at with emails. Okay? Now, why do we do this? Somebody say, why all of that? Because our organic content gives us data for paid marketing efforts. We've spent over $850,000 on ads, and I run the ads myself. But because I'm running the ads myself, I paid a legitimate, experienced, incredible full-time consultant who ain't cheap, because the best never are, to advise me on how to get great at running my own ads. And let me tell you this. If he teaches me this and it takes him like 2 years, how long can I get value from that information? Oh, so I paid this man for 2 years for something I can get advantage of for a lifetime? Let me ask you this. All the stuff I've learned from Lamar and Ronnie, it's been about 3 years. Andy, how long can I have access to that information?
It's under here, but you have it in perpetuity in your life.
Andy said in perpetuity, because then I could make my business better, and then we put stuff in our books and all of that. Now, not their IP, because I know how y'all are, right? But if what they teach me helps me to be better at what I'm called to do, then the benefits of my legacy, my intellectual property lives on for what? Forever. Y'all are paying today for experiences that you can get forever. Then you got to speak to pitch. Now, speaking to pitch, that's like speaking to sell. That means you get people together who are in your ideal audience and then you sell them something. Is that okay with y'all? Now, before I talk about that one, I'm going to talk about traditional pitching. When you send like emails and DMs to people, don't just send an email and a DM. Send them a Loom video. I wanted to get on a big podcast. I DM'd the founder of the podcast. I sent him a Loom video of me speaking. And I only did this with 2 big podcasters. One of them was like, hey, I want to set it up. Because I didn't just say, hello, sir. I watch your show. I love the episode on. All of them do that. They ain't watched that episode. We all know it. But I love that. I'd like to have you. I was like, hey, bro, loved your show. I talked about blah, blah, blah. I saw you were able to do this, blah, blah, blah. I love that. Here's my story. Let me know if you're interested. I'll be in town on this date. He was like, let's do it. Some of you guys aren't using video enough. Oh, because my hair and my this and my that. All of that could be solved with money. You could basically buy anything, especially if you're a woman. But even then now, they got eyebrows for sale, toupees, whatever you want to look, baby. It's a link for you. Don't worry about it. You'll be like, well, I just want to love myself. Before you love yourself internally, you go buy what you want to look like. And then we move on. And we make money in our business, okay? Like, come on, get it together. We can do this quick. Then I have a personal invite for me. I do launches. Who does launches? But if them launch numbers ain't adding up, I'm sending videos to y'all. Hello, I saw you were at the launch. I'd love for you to be a member of blah, 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 blah. They're like, you sent a video? It's me. It's not AI. I say their name. I say something personal so they know they were there. You were there on day 1. I didn't see you on day 2. What happened? How do I know that? Because we use Zoom registration. So my team tells me who was there on day 1, who was there on day 2. Right now, we are in one of the loneliest times in society, period. People need to feel and be seen. They need to be what? Which means you have to be okay being seen first. Here's a script for video pitching. Now, I told you I'll send you this, but some of y'all are hyper zealous and going to do it in the hallway. So go ahead and take a picture. Hey, name, I saw you were interested in this service. I will tell you a little bit about it and show it to you here. But let me know what questions I can answer for you about blank. Here's a tip. Always end a pitch with a question. With a what? Then they're speaking to sell. These are just, I speak to sell. That's what I do. Jamal told y'all that's what I do. Now, look, all of these are our own events. Many of you need your own community. Instead of begging people for their stages or their ideas or their whatever, or making excuses as to why you aren't this or why you aren't that, Build your own stage and talk about your products and talk about your services. Now, when you're speaking to sell, I want you to know that not only can you all do this, but product businesses can do this too. Anyone know any of these companies? Mary Kay, how do they sell? Parties. That's hosting your own event, having your products there, and you're doing a pitch. Anybody remember the Pampered Chef? Boy, them knives will run you. That's your first month in mastermind right there. That knife kit you got sold on in your grandmama's basement. But she sold you. They start off with friends and family, and then their friends invite other friends, and then their friends invite other friends. That's how it used to work. Anyone ever heard of Maggie Lena Walker? All right. A few people have. Who has not heard that name? Raise your hand, be honest. Ooh! I don't got a lot of time. I'm going to do this fast. Y'all ready? Maggie Lena Walker is the first woman in America to charter a bank. She also happens to be a black woman. When they say they're taking black history out of schools, what they really mean is they're erasing you from American history. The brother I told you earlier about was the first man to have a public school in California. Clock it. That's what my teenage friends taught me yesterday. Where y'all at? Am I doing it right? I don't know. I feel like I'm doing it wrong. There we go, right there. Right. Clock it. My 21 and up table said I'm lit. So Maggie Lena Walker would host their own events. She was a sister. She would get everybody together, and she didn't sell the bank. No, that's not what you do with an opera story, is it, Andy? She sold black economic empowerment. She said you need to move your money. They don't value you. She said if you want black wealth, you would join us. Sister had over 50,000 members at its height. And those members were black. They said when she would speak, she would fill stadiums. When I spoke at Russell Brunson event backstage, we were talking about black history. He was telling me about someone, and I was like, Russell, I know you sell from the stage, but the first person to do it that I found was Maggie Lena Walker. Have you heard of her? She's a sister. He was like, she's a sister. Tell me more. Told him her story, but I tell you all that because whenever you're like, I just don't know if I can make an offer, it's in your blood. It's literally in your blood. Do you know Madam C.J. Walker is known as the first black millionaire, not because she was actually the first black millionaire, but because she was the first one to be bold with it. Because those before her would have been killed for sharing their wealth out loud. Some of our people were wealthy and couldn't speak up. They couldn't give us roadmaps. They couldn't give us systems. They couldn't coach other people. But what is your excuse now? Madam C.J. Walker was the first one to be bold, so guess who was able to make more black millionaires than those that came before her? Because she could share what she did. She hosted events. She sold from the stage. It's in your blood. But you need a formula. Take a picture of this, because I don't have time to get into this. Come back to go to questions. Foundation. You need to know who you are. You need to know what you're really selling. Remember I told you how my sister Maggie Lena Walker didn't sell, oh, join this bank. That's like you selling, oh, buy this juice, buy these shoes, buy this hat, buy this coaching. Who needs that? Nobody wants no coaching. What they want is economic empowerment. When Lamar came up there and told you about the mastermind, he wasn't like, well, just join this because I'm going to give you this portal. Come on, man. He was like, join a community of leaders. Change your family's wealth history. Change your bloodline. Some of you are selling your product. You need to be selling the promise. Then you got to research. You have to know your audience intimately. And if you don't, start making calls on Monday. Ask them what keeps them up at night. Talk to people. Talk to who? Y'all talk to ChatGPT so much you don't even know how to do a phone call. Talk to people. Then you're going to plan. You're going to what? I've had launches that did 10,000, launches that did 2.6 million. I'm about to have a launch that does 5 million at one time. I've been so inspired here. I feel like my sister Sonia, I'm not even 7 figures anymore. I'm already at 8. I'm already seeing 8. I had my team pull out lifetime revenue at somewhere around $8.6 million. I was like, okay, we got to do a lot better. Most of that was in the last 3 years. Plan. Then you're going to pitch. And when you pitch, you're going to ask for the sale. You're going to what? Here's what you're not going to do. Teach your heart out. Be so excited. Be joyous. Then when it comes time to the tip, oh, what if I had something? But you know, if you have to go, you can go. If your product and your service changes lives, if you believed that, the same way you believe your name, would you be scared of giving someone a life-changing antidote? Let me put it like this. If you knew someone had a disease that you could cure with a medicine that you had in your closet, would you be scared to give it to them? So why are you scared to save lives with your products and services? Sell it like their life depends on it. That's how you're going to pitch. Now, I already told y'all DM me TSP on Instagram, so we've done that. I'm going to go to questions, but before I do, I got to go get something that I left. Child, I hope these heels hold up on these stairs, baby. Okay. We doing good, Chris. Your wife look good, don't she? Okay. All right, now, where's my money? I gave someone, oh, I gave it to you. Oh, thank you. Thank you for holding this for me. Thank you so much. Does anyone else have my money? Oh, you do. Thank you, Brittany. Thank you so much for holding it. Does anyone else have what's mine? Oh, my sister Erica does. Thank you so much. Just go ahead and put it in my bag. It's a lot of money. That's how it goes. My collaborative sister, of course, has so much money. It makes so much sense. Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, you know, you keep that higher. Because when you give from overflow, it's nothing. You know what I mean? Right. Okay. Now, here's what I'm going to do because I'm very busy. Brittany, you can pass this around. You all can keep that, okay? All right. Now, why was I so comfortable going to get that money? Because it was mine. Some of y'all want to inconvenience yourself for your dream because you don't believe it's yours. You think it belongs to somebody else. So you see another person doing what you do, and you say, oh, well, that's theirs. It's the saturated market. What's mine, I go get. I wouldn't care if my baby was over in whatever part of the world she was in. That's my baby. I'm going to get her. Hey, Christelle. Let me tell you something. Ain't nobody bringing your dreams to you, to your doorstep, and teaching you how to steward it. If you won't get off of a stage, get into a program, get down on your knees and pray, and then work like you believe every prayer is going to be answered, you may not even deserve what you're praying for. I'm going to tell you this. Put your hand over your heart and say, I'm getting mine. Say, I ain't scared. Say, this is the last day I play small. And it's the last day I let fear rob me of a single thing. All right, I'm going to take some questions. I got 10 minutes. All right.
We are going to get back to this good episode in just a second, but I have a question for you. Can I help you build a $25,000 offer, like one that you could sell to small businesses or large businesses alike? And can I do it for free? Because that's exactly what I'm doing at the end of this month at the Your First Corporate Offer Summit. For 2 days, I'm going to show you on day 1 how to build your corporate offer, and on day 2 how to sell your corporate offer, and it's going to blow your mind. We have had thousands of students sign up for this summit, and they have always gotten value, but I feel like you're VIP if you're watching this episode. So if you get a VIP ticket, I'm going to hand deliver to you 50 corporate offers and the prices that you can charge for them, so you don't even have to think about whether or not this offer is quote unquote good. Now, we're also going to give you an opportunity to upgrade to a platinum ticket, which would allow you to get one-on-one coaching from me during the summit. Everyone with a platinum ticket gets at least one-on-one question time with me during the summit. So you get to ask your question, come on Zoom, and I'll coach you live right there. Look, whether you get a free ticket, a VIP ticket with the workbook, or you upgrade from VIP to platinum, you are going to have a great time. And if you want to sell higher tiered offers, this is the summit that you have to attend to. So go to speakyourwaytocashsummit.com and get a ticket to the Your First $25,000 Offer Summit. And I'll see you there.
All right. Hey, Lenitra, what's up, girl?
So my current call to action is the comment press, the book a free press call, but it isn't converting the way it used to. So what are some high converting CTA strategies that we can use with our content to drive recurring revenue, especially when engagement is so huge to these algorithms?
Okay, this is a great question. So number 1, is your call to action at the end of the video or only in the caption?
In the caption.
Okay, put it at the end of the video. People do not read captions as much as you think. So put it embedded at the end of the video. If you need an example, that's how I do all of my call to actions. You'll see it at the end of the video. Number 2, your content may not immediately lead into recurring revenue. Our content leads to our launch. Our launch is where I do my pitch. That is what leads to us generating revenue. Every now and then, I get someone who watches the content like, I'm ready to go. I want to buy right now. That's great. They have sold themselves through our free content. But for most people, they need to know more about the offer, particularly right now where people are like, they've had experiences. And so to help them go from receipts or to go from rhetoric to what? I have to talk to them. And there's 3 things I study to do pitches well. Y'all want to know what they are? 1 is history. If I know where we've been, I can know where we're going because I can do pattern recognition. 2nd is science. If I know how we're wired, I can do rewiring. 3rd is the Bible, so that I don't get mad about what I study in the first 2. Okay?
Thank you, Ashley.
Thank you. Yes, ma'am.
Good morning. I'm Zarina, and I'm in publishing. We do all things books. But after losing my parents, I realized that the stories that were most important, which were our family stories, I let go 6 feet in the ground. So we shifted to do books centered around our elders, recording their life stories so that we can get it while we still can. So my question is to you. You have an amazing story. You just showed us your first apartment and where you are now. How are you protecting your legacy, your story, not for today, not for tomorrow, but for 100 years from now, 200 years from now?
I love this question. And I think it'd be really valuable for you to know, and everyone in the room, and maybe you all will talk to her about this in the hallway. 1, publishing protects legacy. Publishing content is another way to protect legacy. Do you understand that? Like, it doesn't go away when you pass away. You're able to have an account that someone else can manage. Several people have access to my YouTube. 2, I write books. I have 2 books. And 3 that I want to share with you so that, you can maybe use this as an example. I hired a ghostwriter who interviewed both my parents. My dad's book is called From Foster to Favor. And when I hired her to write that book, it's on Amazon. Check my daddy out. He's over there. But when I hired her to write it, some of the things that she was able to pull out from my dad, I didn't know about him. And because I hired her, I was able to coach her, make him go deeper. Don't accept God did it all. Because, he will. He's a pastor. He will make him go deeper. Tell him to say how God did it. What were the stories that led to it? And so it really helped. And so my goal is for every member of our family to have a book. Because I want Christelle to always be able to read our words and hear our words. And then my mom was interviewed on about raising confident kids. So that'll likely turn into her next book. So we're very cognizant of that. Aside from that, of course, getting wills and trusts and talking to Amelia about how to protect all this money that we've been able to do through this program. So yeah, thank you. Yes. Hey, friend.
My question for you today is how can kids like me start learning to make decisions with facts and not just feelings?
Come on, Ho. Give it up, though. Cool, right? My daughter's like, oh my goodness, she's a kid like me. I'm like, yeah, babe. Okay, so that's amazing. So number 1, this is a framework I use to make decisions, and it's one that you can start using even now. Okay, you ready for it? Will it get me closer to my goals or further away? So when you're at school and someone's doing something bad, is that going to get you closer to your goals or further away, Hope? Further away. So if you keep that in your mind, it'll be easier for you to make decisions. And one of the things that I do, and all the adults in the room should use this, if I think there is a chance that it gets me closer to my goals, I'm doing it. I'm doing it. And that'll help you not to get decision fatigue and overthink. But I love your question. Thank you. Excellent question. Okay, over here. Oh, come on. How are you, friend?
My question is, we teach classes of about 30 students in person. How do you distinguish between what should be short from without pay and what should be paid during our workshop?
That is a great question. That is a great question. So one of the things that I like to do in my short form content is tell stories around the topics that I'm going to talk about in my long form content. So if my long form content or my paid program, we have a program on pitching. So if in our paid program, we're teaching how to pitch colleges and corporations and all that fun stuff, in my short form, I want to tell the stories about how I and my clients were able to pitch and close those contracts. versus maybe the full story of like, these are the 25 emails you're going to send. That won't even do well short form anyways. What would do well is like, hey, these are all the subject lines, but not giving the emails because it's short form. So you do want to make sure the topics of your content align with what you're selling. Now, better yet, the topics of your content align with what your free launch is, because that way they're interested in going to the launch to learn more. But that's kind of how we delineate. Thank you so much for the question. Thank you. Give it up for her. These kids are crushing, right? Oh my gosh, you all are beautiful, yes.
My question is, since we have often been so conditioned within our families and communities to have limiting beliefs, please share some insights on how to recognize our own rhetoric in order to be able to challenge it.
That's really good. What's your revenue goal for the year?
$1 million.
Okay, are you tracking towards that?
Yes.
Okay, great, so that should be your revenue goal. You know what I mean? Because if you've already done that, if you notice midway through the year, you're tracking towards your revenue goal, double that revenue goal, because that's gonna keep motivating you. Okay. So when I say, are you tracking towards it, if you don't do anything else but everything you've been doing now, you'll hit that, then let me ask you this, why haven't you doubled that revenue goal already?
Fear.
And what specifically is scaring you? What do you tell yourself?
That I'm afraid of what other people will think of me.
Okay. And is there anything foundationally that's justifying that thought process? Has anyone come to you and said, I am going to hate you if you get really wealthy?
No.
Okay. So is that a receipt or is that rhetoric?
It's rhetoric.
So that's how you're going to coach yourself through it. You're going to start policing your thoughts. Thoughts are going to come in, they don't have to reside there. You can catch a thought and flip it. And if you have the right people around you, and I see your lanyard, if you give them permission, because if you're defensive, look, I get paid to argue. I don't do it for free. So if people I give them feedback and they, okay, God bless. You know what I mean? But if you give them permission to challenge you, they will. And you be like, hey guys, I just thought this, but can you help me with this? Is that fear or is that facts? Is that a receipt or is that rhetoric? That's how you're going to coach yourself through it.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, guys, I would, but we only have 20 more seconds, so that's all the questions that we can have. Everybody stand up real quick for me. Hand over your heart. Say, we are the ones. We're done waiting. We're coming for what's ours. And we don't quit. Say, we are the ones. We're done waiting. Now I want y'all to say it with some attitude. We are the ones. We're done waiting. We don't quit. We don't fear. We're coming for what's ours. Say, we are the ones. We're done waiting. We don't quit. And we're coming for what's ours. Now with all the attitude you got, like let me put my water bottle down. Now I want you to say it this time like you are calling forth your future right now. Like every tear you've cried is getting noticed that it's done. That those tears were actually water. What did Jay tell us? For our dreams. Say, we are the ones. We're done waiting. We don't quit. We're coming for what's ours. Say, we are the ones. We're done waiting. We don't quit. And we're coming for what's ours. That's my time, everyone. I love you, TSP. Oh!
For everything you sell, you need a vehicle. Sales calls. Challenge. Our event is a vehicle. It's one way you can sell an offer. You're marketing not just for sales, you're also marketing for data. In your portal, it shows you how to have a brand guide. What brand guides do is it ensures that no matter who designs your stuff, it looks the same. I help y'all land 5- and 6-figure contracts, but there comes a point in your business where you are the one giving 5- and 6-figure contracts.
You cannot afford not to come to this event.
You are missing out. There is so much energy at a place like this.
Everything has been epic. I've never been to a training where I've been engaged in literally every session.
This mastermind has truly changed my life.
My mindset has shifted.
It has allowed my business to grow tremendously.
6-figure speaking contracts.
Get in the room. This is unlike any conference that I've ever experienced, and I am a conference junkie, information junkie. I've been to all the things, but I have never been to an event like this.
If you make it from a certain spot, go back higher, go back further, shoot it again. And if you make it from that spot, then you realize, hold on, this may be too low of a rim.
The hardest thing to be in life is yourself. Why? It's because it's the noise. Too many of us are believing what other people are saying about who we should or should not be.
Yeah, energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. Energy high, excuses low. I need energy, need only good people that's around me. All the faith you can give, that's the